Today we're potting up a pineapple. Let's get the flower pot down, then head inside where we have some other pineapple plants growing along. Okay, so for the size that we're gonna bump this up to, I'm thinking that this size right here should be perfect. So let's get the saucer to go to it, and all right. I have my pot, I have my pineapple. Now we plant. So we're gonna just set this down, and as you all can see, I have some pineapple plants that's growing along here. You guys, you can do this. Pineapples are one of the easiest plants to grow. It might take a little bit of time, but it's so easy, and it's nothing better than harvesting your own pineapple that you grew alone to use in recipes or just eat by itself. Now, let's get this container prepped up. I have two pineapple plants right here, and this one right here I have some stakes in it. This one I do not have any stakes inside of it. Now I like to stake my pineapple plants because the plant grows on the stem. So actually, you know what, let's just go ahead and let's talk a little bit about the anatomy of a pineapple, and what better way to do it than to draw it out, because when you're looking at this, sometimes it can look like just an actual plant to where you can't see the differences. And the pineapple comes from the Vermilia family. When I was taking my tea, decompressing, we were going to be doing a video about pineapples. So in order to explain the anatomy of it, I started just drawing out, because it's one of the things that I like to do in my downtime is I'll draw out different things that I'm working on. So let's start with the pineapple structure here. So the crown of the plant is at the top, and is often referred to as a pineapple top. From the pineapple top, you have the fruit of the pineapple. And then if you look on the inside of here, and we'll be careful, we have some pineapple slips, and that is this piece right here. But on the inside here, you have this foliage, but if you look on the inside, just as I'm illustrating in the drawing, you can see where there is a stem, and that is what holds the pineapple up. And then from there, you have the pineapple leaves, and then from there, sometimes you'll get where you have suckers coming out the bottom of here, all the way down from the leaves, and then this is where our roots are, which is common for any plant. Oftentimes with your pineapple plants, you do not have to be able to go into a nursery in order to get your own personal pineapple that you can grow along in your garden. The only thing you need to do is go to the grocery store. Now I have two pineapples here for illustration purposes. I bought these two pineapples at the same time. One is on the yellow side because it's more ripe, but when I am going to the store and I'm looking for a pineapple that I actually want to have 100% success, I'm not really worried about how the fruit is looking. I try to get one that's more along the green side. To beware of the tag, because a lot of times they'll put that tag in there. You see where we had the Chiquita tags on there, and the purpose of that, they put it through the middle of the pineapple. So when you're looking for a pineapple to propagate, you want to get in the business of the pineapple and pull back the leaves here until you can see that that sticker, you can pull it out. If it's puncturing through the middle of the stem, I wouldn't even waste my time growing it. A lot of times you'll have more luck when you try to use ones that are organic. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. Now, what you can do is you can pop off the top, right? And some people say twist it off. You really need to pop it off. Just like that. And the reason why you want to pop this off is because you want to make sure this is as flat as possible, so the fruit is still good here. This is what your inside will look like. This is the bottom where these were slips that were right here. And then you just come in and you look at the bottom, you can see we already have some roots. Do we see our roots that we have here? Can you guys see that? So what you want to do is you want to start to peel off just like this. Peel it off. And as I'm peeling, you can see where I have roots that's starting to tickle through. Now, you can use a clear glass vase, but if you are new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. But I always like to, when I'm trying to force out roots, I like to use an opaque vase, and that's because it's going to mimic more of the in-ground conditions. So I'm going to just slightly just set this on the inside here. Now I have a little bit of water in there just so it's tickling the roots. And in a few days, I'm going to have roots here on my pineapple, and I'll make sure I keep you guys updated on that. So now, as far as everything that's left over, the leaves here, what you can do is you can compost these. As for this pineapple, it's not as ripe as I would normally like to, because when I look for pineapples, I look for the eye, and I like to make sure everything around the eye is kind of puffed out. The pineapple being yellow is not always a good indicator that it's actually ripe. So what I'll do with this pineapple right here is I will go in and I will just add these pineapples after I cut it up and process it. I'll just add it to like a drink or something of that nature, like a smoothie. And that way your pineapple's not wasted. But what we really want is we really want the plant here. So now let's pop this up. So we have our piece of screen. We'll just put that in the bottom here. Have all of my pineapples in terracotta pots because although it's food production, I still like it to have a little look to it. So even the little pineapple plant that I have right here, started it off in a smaller pot because I know I'm going to be bumping this up. And this pot will go into this size container right here. And then from this size container right here, it will then go into this size container. And this is where I finished them out in this size here. And so this is like a 12.5 gallon. That is why I grabbed the accompanying saucer to this container, because I want to make sure I keep my vibe, everything going, because even though it's growing, when they sit outside in full sun, we want to make sure it looks nice, you know, in case the girls come around, honey, or the boys. One more scoop of soil here. Just a little bit of starter fertilizer, and I'll mix this inside of the pot. Drop down in the comment box and let me know, do you have any pineapples that you're growing along in your garden? Is this something that you feel like you're going to try? I would definitely love to hear about it. I'm mixing in the starter fertilizer. This plant is going to continue to grow. This pineapple plant, this is the most important time with the pineapple plant. What I like to do, you guys, I go in, y'all know I'm extra, and I add my sticks for support. And that's because, you know, it's going out there in the wind. It just got popped into this container. So if we're out in the elements, it will not be blown. It's going to just help stabilize it, okay? And I like to do it because I normally have bamboo stakes like you see here. Same thing over here. I just took those out because I felt like it might be easier to see the pineapple. We'll move this off to the side here. So one of the things to remember, this is the most important stage for the pineapple here, and here is why. The size of your pineapple foliage, the weight of it, is going to determine the size of your pineapple. So now is the best time for you to be fertilizing and using your nitrogen heavy fertilizers here. So what I like to use is fish fertilizer here. And when you water this plant, Typically we would water around the perimeter of the plant, but when we're watering our pineapple, we're going to water right down into these leaves. Now I like to start off with a diluted formula and then I move it along the full stem because I'm trying to get my pineapple to grow. Now it takes about 18 to 24 months for you to harvest a pineapple fruit, but I'm okay with that because I would rather harvest my own fruit that I grew alone. I feel like it's more satisfying. Now, in order to have, where you have consistent pineapple fruits, of course you want to have plants in different phases and stages. I have one that I'm cooking up, and I'll make sure I show you guys what these look like when I get ready to pot this up. I'll show you guys how easy it is to have roots, you guys. And why not add a pineapple to your plant arsenal? Because you guys, I'm telling you, the way that I use my plants, I can show you better than I can tell you. Pineapples are hardy from zones 11 to 12 USDA, but a lot of people that live in Florida, Hawaii, California, even Texas, they grow pineapple plants. Since I stay in a USDA zone 6B, I am going to be growing these pineapples along as house plants. Now in the summertime, we put them outside. We let them take in the environment because here in the St. Louis region, we are very humid, so they're going to like that. But then when it comes time to where it drops below 50 degrees, I don't even waste no time. When it starts to get September, I bring them in and I like to grow them along under a grow light. And by doing that, it makes sure that I can continue to have my pineapple fruit and my plant just progresses, okay? They're 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 10 degrees Celsius if my math is right. These are all the ways to propagate. You can use suckers, you can use the slips, you can use the ratoon, which comes from the mother plant, meaning that once you harvest this, that's when you'll be able to see the ratoon. And then from the pineapple top, like we just did right here. Okay, you guys, so if you can't find a pineapple plant at your local garden center, those are the ways that you can get one. Now, if you got a good girlfriend next door, honey, the gardener next door, if you got the gardener next door, you go right on over there and you ask your gardener next door, hey sis, can I get a start off of your pineapple plant? If she don't give you one, you know y'all ain't good girlfriends like you thought you was. Drop down in the comment box. Let me know, are you growing any pineapple plants today? I'm going to start processing this pineapple because I'm going to have a delicious drink for lunch.